Hi everyone, it's Tracy. I recently managed to get my hands on the Touchstone Tarot by Cat Black. I had wanted this one for a while, not quite sure why, but I have wanted it for a while, and I managed to find one on eBay that was brand new and wasn't too expensive. So this video is going to be an unboxing of that deck, as well as a comparison to a certain degree to her Golden Tarot, which is readily available and published by US Games. So we can see if there's any significant differences. I know there is different artwork, but is it basically, if you got the Golden Tarot, the Touchstone is not really necessary, or are they significantly different enough to warrant searching for this one? So we're going to start with the Touchstone. We'll pull the Golden back out in just a second. This is not published by a major publishing house, which is probably why it's no longer in print. It is Kunadi Inc., copyright 2009, printed in China. It's a 78 card tarot deck plus 2 special cards, all with gold gilt edges and rich wood texture border. 200-page perfect bound companion book with simple explanations of each card. Elegant and sturdy hinged box to store the cards. It says, internationally renowned tarot designer Cat Black, whose Golden Tarot remains one of the most popular and critically acclaimed tarot decks on the market, has created this unique deck. It's collaged from portraits. Just, you know, she does collages, but it is collaged from portraits. And from what I understand, it is portraits. It's mostly, you know, people sitting there looking at you, which I think is what intrigued me about this deck, is the looking at you aspect. I have Tarot of the Hidden Realm, and those are, you know, that's original artwork, but it's also people, although they don't seem to be doing, some of them look at you, but some of them don't. And I don't know, there's something about having a portrait look at you that just, I don't know, it evokes emotion, I guess is where I'm trying to go with that. And that's one of the things I've discovered with my tarot cards, that it makes a difference for me when it comes to whether or not I'm actually going to use the deck. I can appreciate a beautiful deck, but unless it evokes some sort of emotional response in me, I'm probably not going to reach for that deck. So yes, very nice box. And here we have the booklet. Looks very similar. It's a little bit bigger, just this way and this way, than the Golden Tarot. And the Golden Tarot, the little booklet, the covers are so very stiff that it makes it really hard to open. I'm also kind of hoping that this artwork isn't as old, that you'll find some newer paintings. Now, I don't mean modern art paintings, but the Golden Tarot is all from 1200 to about 1500, all the artwork that she's chosen for that. And there's something about that artwork that I detach from. I find it a bit cold and a bit distant, and I'm looking for something that, again, is a bit more visceral, will spark some emotions. So we'll see if this deck will do it. All right, let's have a look. Touchstone Tarot, tell me true. This is what I ask of you. A foreword by a secret benefactor. A dedication by Mary K. Greer. A foreword by a secret benefactor. Contents. An introduction. When I created my first deck, the Golden Tarot in 2000, I wanted to make an easy-to-read Rider-Waite-Smith style deck that looked convincingly early Renaissance, in tribute to both the art and symbolism of tarot's traditions and heritage. Since then, a number of other tarot decks have flooded the market, filling all manner of niches, both mainstream and obscure. Let's see. I wanted it to be a deck of oil portraits, richer and darker than the soft frescoes of Golden. I posted a few cards online at Eclectic Tarot Forum for feedback. I didn't say much about what was special about the deck, but I received some enthusiastic support for the cards posted. After doing about a dozen draft cards, though, I realized it wasn't viable to commit the time. I have to make a living, and my main livelihood is as a VJ, a visual jockey. A few months later, this is just fascinating. A few months later, I received a message from a stranger on the forum. The person asked me if I was willing to complete the deck, no strings attached, if they gave me an arts grant. All I had to do was supply my bank details, then get to work. Not having a tradition of private benefactorship here in Australia, I was a little suspicious. Nigerian bank internet scams sprang to mind. The person was very understanding, though, and gave me the details of their identity that I confirmed with others in the tarot community. They insisted on their identity being kept a secret for obvious reasons, but they were well known and respected in the field. Once I confirmed who they were, of course I agreed immediately. To be paid to do a project that I was passionate about, what a fairy tale. Wow, that's cool. I'm glad I got the deck for nothing but this story alone, and I'll have to read the whole thing all the way through. Got some FAQs. Reading, reversals, significators, run card spread. We've got a past, present, and future, Celtic cross, a love knot spread, and that looks interesting. And then we go into the majors, the meanings. One thing I did love about the Golden Tarot is that actually the last third of the book was nothing but her citing where she got her paintings from. And she's done that again here, except she's just folded it into with the card so it's easier to find. So it gives you the painting sources, like the sky and the mountain came from, yeah, I'm not going to pronounce that. The cliff and the rocks came from this painting. The flute came from this painting. The dog came from this painting. So that's really cool. I've got going to the back. It looks like a sample reading. Yep, a sample reading. So cool, cool book. I love the story. I'm going to have to read that in more detail. All right, let's have a look at the cards. This is a brand new deck, just as advertised, which is lovely. Yeah, I can already tell I like this one better than the Golden Tarot. Oh, I do hate the plastic. One of the other things that I didn't like about the Golden Tarot, or that I don't like, I scraped it. The cardstock is so thick, and the gilding is so thick that it makes it difficult to shuffle, and actually kind of hurts my hands on the edges. I saw a video a couple of years ago, probably, from a guy on YouTube. You can probably still find the video, where he took and trimmed the Golden Tarot, which I would have thought, that's weird. It's got nice borders, and you know, here it is. The borders aren't obnoxious, but it was actually cutting his hands. That edge was actually cutting his hands because the gilding is so thick. Even though the cardstock isn't that thick. And yeah, I get that, but I'd hate to lose that gilding. It's so pretty. Okay, here we go. The Touchstone Tarot. Let's have a look at the cardstock. Oh, it's better. It's matte. It's more of a matte finish. It's not as slick. There's no copyright. It's still gilt, but it's much better cardstock. And yeah, okay. So there's the Fool, the Magician, the High Priestess, the Empress, the Emperor. That's an awfully young Hierophant. I can go places with that. The Lovers, Chariot, the Strength. This is the image that I had seen all over the place for this deck. The Hermit. That's interesting. Wheel of Fortune. I wonder if those are some sort of religious significance. Justice is 11. The Hanged Man. Oh, that's cool. Death. Temperance. Do love a nice temperance card. Now, I love this guy as the devil. I have actually seen that painting used as the devil before in another art collage deck that I got from Russia. And that was the reason that I got that deck from Russia, because this guy, he just looks like he is drawing you in to do something that you know you shouldn't be doing. Tower. Star. Oh, I love the moon. Here, I've stuck a little bit together. The sun. Yeah, we got a baby on a horse. Judgment. And the World. We have the Ace of Coins. Two of Coins. She explains in the Golden Tarot that the coins are like the merchant class, and you can definitely see that in the outfits that they're wearing, that these guys are merchants. Three of Coins. Four of Coins. I almost thought she was flipping us a bird, but no, different finger. Shows where my mind goes. The Five of Coins. Six of Coins. Yeah, that's just great. Seven of Coins. Eight of Coins. I love that. Oh, I love that. Nine of Coins. I like that they're looking at you. I love that. I love this one. The Ten of Coins. Page of Coins. Knight of Coins. The Queen of Coins. And the King of Coins. Ace of Cups, Two of Cups, Three of Cups. Cups, I think in the Golden Tarot she mentioned that they were tended to be the clergy and the religious leaders, but this looks a little different. These people don't look particularly religious to me. Well, that one does. Five of Cups. And he looks a bit Quakerish. Six of Cups. She did something very similar in the Golden Tarot with the Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. Definitely Rider-Waite. If you know Rider-Waite, you'll be able to read this with no problems. Knight of Cups. Queen of Cups. Oh boy. King of Cups. Looks a little Henry VIII-ish. Swords. Two of Swords. She looks very unhappy, but in a kind of startled way. Four of Swords. She does do a great job with her collage work, I have to say that. She's made it seamless to where it doesn't necessarily look like it's collage. It looks like somebody could have created this artwork the way it stands. Oh. She also said in the guidebook for the Golden Tarot that she did pick art that, intentionally she picked art that was not familiar to the average person, so that you wouldn't look at it and say, oh, that's Da Vinci, or oh, that's Botticelli. I think she's done the same here. Five of Wands, Six of Wands, Seven of Wands, Eight of Wands. Uh-oh, what's coming at me? Oh no, am I going to get pounded by those sticks? Nine of Wands. Looks like it could be one of Henry's wives. Ten of Wands. Also could be one of Henry's wives. Page of Wands. Knight of Wands. Queen of Wands. That just, to me, that says Anne Boleyn. What do you think? Think that's Anne Boleyn? Let's look her up. The face is that of Marchesa Brigida Spinola Dioria. A hottie if there ever was one. I couldn't find out much about her, but her flushed cheeks, red lips, and flirty look in this Rubens portrait made her my chosen face for the Queen of Wands. The body is that of a young Princess Elizabeth I. In her youth, probably about the same time this portrait was painted, Elizabeth was implicated in a sex scandal with Thomas Seymour. He was the brother of her father Henry VIII's third wife, Jane, and husband of her guardian, Catherine Parr. Yada, yada, yada. So that's fascinating that she took Elizabeth's body and put this other chick's face on it. I love it. King of Wands. Oh, he looks like somebody I've seen on TV recently. Okay, and here are the two extra cards. We got the Happy Squirrel card. And for those of you who haven't heard the story of the Happy Squirrel was an invention of The Simpsons. Lisa went to a tarot reading, to get a reading, and they were all made-up cards that she got. None of them were real cards, but one of them was the Happy Squirrel, and they talked about how the Happy Squirrel was a great card. And ever since then, some tarot deck creators have started putting the Happy Squirrel in their tarot decks. I love the Happy Squirrel. Let's look and see what it says about the Happy Squirrel in here, if I can find anything about it. You may have noticed an extra card in your deck and wondered what it was doing there. It's a bit of a tarot in-joke and was intended to be taken out for readings. I've been very surprised to find, though, that many of the limited edition owners, most of whom are very experienced tarot readers and collectors, have chosen to leave it in the deck. The Happy Squirrel tarot card first appeared in an episode of The Simpsons entitled Lisa's Wedding. So there you go. That is the Touchstone Tarot. And just to give you an idea of what it looks like compared to the Golden Tarot, the deck that is still in print. The Golden Tarot is lovely. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just not one of those decks I tend to reach for. It has a a chunky little book. Like I said about the cover's very hard and hard to bend. But it's got good traditional Rider-Waite meanings, and the entire back of it gives the painting sources. And she talks about digital collage and how she creates her. We'll have a quick look. We'll look at the wands, and then maybe we'll look at some of the major arcana. But you can see it's just, this white thing here. That's where my attention automatically goes. You've got this dark, rich painting and this white border, or this white, whatever you want to call it. And then, of course, you've got the U.S. Games copyright. This one just seems to be more cohesive. But again, if you look at the faces, see his face? It's just a little cold and distant. This one is also a little cold and distant, but just not in the same way. And maybe I'm just making that up to justify purchasing it. But there we've got the Queen of Wands. She's lovely. She's cold. And then the Knight of Wands. You can see we've got a close-up here, which brings him a little closer to you. And this is, it's lovely. There's nothing wrong with it. Page of Wands. This makes me think of, there was one of those clerics or one of those advisors in the Tudors. It makes me think of that with that hat. But this guy, you can see this is from an earlier painting, a more medieval painting, his face, and it just doesn't have the depth, the spark of humanity. I'm looking things over. She's still got the bandage on her head. This one doesn't have a person in it at all. So you can see they are very similar. They're very similar decks. The composition is similar. They use different artwork. She used different artwork, obviously. You're closer up here. But for some reason, the Touchstone just speaks to me way more than the Golden Tarot does. But that is just my personal opinion. This might work for you better. Oh, this woman with her cat. You can see that's very similar. She's even got angels in both of these. And here we'll look at the majors. Yeah, we got babies in both sun cards. They're both kind of creepy, but this one's a little creepier. I do love that moon card. Is she holding a crab? She is. She's holding a crab. I have a thing about crabs. I had a crab take a bite out of me. Well, not a bite, but, you know, out of me in the ocean when I was about 12 years old. And ever since then, I have tried to eat every single crab I've come across in revenge. Yeah, much prefer this devil. This devil's a little too creepy for me. And these people just look a little too like their eyeballs are fixing to fall out. I kind of think of the people that are chained to the devil as kind of being happy to be there. Yeah, they chain themselves voluntarily to the man, so, and the man is a metaphor. See here again, it's a little too Christian. Yep, I find these little baby angels a little bit creepy too. Not that I mind creepy, I kind of like creepy sometimes. As a matter of fact, I love the skeleton. The skeleton creepy. I like that kind of creepy, so I don't know. I guess I'm just a mass of paradoxes and I haven't figured anything out yet. And I don't know that I ever will figure everything out. And that's okay. Well, let me get through this because this is a long enough video and I have rambled on about some nonsense that I had no intention of rambling on about. Love that chariot. She is just gorgeous. He just looks cross. And he looks like he's too young to have that hat, you know? I'm of a generation where you had to wait. You know, you had to pay your dues before you got the hat. This one's pregnant. This one's got a baby. I don't mind a mother empress, but an empress also implies power. And I so rarely see that power in the tarot cards. Like you see in the Emperor, this man has got a lot of power. High Priestess, she's just gorgeous. She's beautiful. So in my opinion, just my opinion, I prefer the Touchstone Tarot. So I am glad I got it. I didn't pay, I've seen it on eBay for like $120 sometimes, and I'm not going to do that. But I think I paid about $40 for it and am very thoroughly pleased that I did. And you'll probably start seeing it on Instagram really soon. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.